What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning into another episode of Texas Street Stories. Today's video, we will be going over the Texas Mexican Mafia of Texas Constitution. We represent the Mexican Mafia here in Texas. We have our rules here in Texas and do not reflect anyone else's. At the present, we have no enemies, but always be ready to confront and defeat any enemy that confronts us. We represent the Mexican Mafia here in Texas because we are soldiers of Aztlan and Mexicanemi. That's to say, soldiers or army of Aztlan. Aztlan is the land of we Mexicans, and our symbol represents the origin of our Mexican nation. We must also represent our symbol, Mexicanemi symbol, in Aztlan. Our actions shall reflect upon many parts of the whole Mexicanemi nation. And we must also represent Mexicanemi in all manners of fight, be it an economic, political, military, social, or cultural fight. We represent all of this within our destiny simply to advance benefits for our families, our race, and the generations which in the future will represent what we have founded by totally liberating the Mexican nation. We represent the exact truth of our Aztlan, and we are all representatives of Aztlan by means of Mexicanemi. The president and vice president are responsible for everything that occurs within Mexican Mafia. Despite the fact that the president and vice president hold the highest positions in the Mexican Mafia, they also have the obligations of likewise serving and obeying all of the rules as any other soldier or brother. We are all Mexicans and we are all equal. All generals are responsible for everything that occurs within the region for which they are in charge. All generals have the obligations of always maintaining close communication with the president or vice president. Also, so that everything will always be organized because we are an organization. If by chance the president or vice president are not present for any reason, generals take on the responsibilities of the president and vice president. Despite the fact that they hold high positions, they too must likewise serve and obey all the rules. All captains are responsible for everything that occurs within the region for which they are in charge. All captains have the obligation of always maintaining close communication with the general of his region or the president or vice president. Also, so that everything will always be organized. If by chance the general of his region is not present for any reason, captains take on the responsibility of the general. Despite the fact that they too hold high positions, they must also likewise serve and obey all of the rules. This is part 1 of the Texas Mexican Mafia Constitution. Subscribe and hit that like button. Stay tuned. Part 2 coming soon.